If you treat glass right, it doesn't crack. If you know its properties, you can make things. The color of dusk and night and love. I want the world to be glass. And I think that's what this home is. It's all glass. We love telling stories. Designers do tell stories, but for us, it's a very different story. It's a book that I probably would have not reached out to. I would have gone to a library. You can see through it. You can sit in and see the world beyond it. It's all encompassing. It's different. Hi, I'm Huzaifa Rangwala, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through a home tour of Glasshouse 91, which was designed in collaboration with our client Pawan Anand. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer. The house is located in this quaint, sleepy village of Dhokaware. It is merely 15 to 20 minutes from the Mandwa jetty. The site where we are sitting right now, apart from the village road on the east side, the other three sides still have these really nice lush green paddy fields. So I think it almost feels like you are within the village, but you're still in isolation. The plot area is a little shy of half an acre. It's around 23,500 square feet, and it's a two-story structure, ground and first. Our client Pawan Anand happens to be an international bijoutier. If I have to describe him in one line, he is nothing but a detail Nazi. He enjoys collaborating with like-minded people who have a flair for understanding detail, materials, techniques. This is the true north, and the site was fairly oddly shaped, where we do have a large chunk of the portion that obviously became the part where we wanted to design the main home, but then there is also this projection right here in the northeast corner. What was important for us was to understand how we are segregating the main home from the entrance part itself. We didn't want to reveal the home from the outside. So this entire stretch right here actually becomes the perfect foyer to the plot. We kind of created a portal over here. It's a very simple PVB coated portal in a champagne finish. So once the doors open, you end up seeing the entire architecture being framed through the portal. And I think that just sets the expectations of what to look forward to in the home. So we've got these 6 columns that of course support the roof, but there is a completely seamless east-west connection and also a very seamless northern connection from the living room. It almost feels like the entire site is your living room. The northern part of the living room also has a really nice reflective pool. The idea again was to segregate the hardscape from the main living space. And what is interesting here is the orientation of the furniture within the living room. So what we've done is we kind of angled it to respond to the angle of the staircase itself. What it does is it also creates a very interesting engagement of the users with the landscape, because you are now not facing each other, but you're also kind of facing the landscapes. This entire wall actually has a very beautiful paneling made in clear mirror and black mirror. The idea is that once you come in, you kind of look at yourself, there is a lot of reflection, and this sort of mirror mosaic also ends up reflecting this art by Nirvair. Also, just in terms of the architecture, like I said earlier, that it just comprises of these 2 bars, right? So you got the lower bar, and then you got this little cube that sits on top, which is the master bedroom. This is where we are looking at the staircase that's snaking out from the living room. This staircase actually acts as a perfect transition from the living space to the bedroom, and it actually makes you want to know what's up there. This is where we have the bedroom on the first floor, and the bathroom is right here. The cube-like form of the second master bedroom, which sits on the first floor, is the perfect crowning moment to the architecture of the home. The bed over here is actually suspended from the ceiling. So it is a 4-poster bed, and the finish of the material is actually similar to that of the windows. What we also have is a really nice open to sky terrace that actually becomes the terrace where you want to step out from the master bedroom. These cubes which are within the corridor that connects the 3 bedrooms, these are cubes made in plexiglass, and they're installed on a ceiling that is also clad in mirror. And then there are a series of 3 bedrooms. So we've got 2 junior bedrooms, and then there is 1 master bedroom on the ground floor, and it actually marks the end of the entire 120 feet length of this cuboid. Again, as per Vastu, this is in the southwest corner of the plot. Bathroom is right here beyond this. This piece of paradise exists right at the end of the structure. There's an outdoor bathtub, there is the shower right here, and you're almost like in your own private bamboo grove. So this is where we have the pool, and the pool in some way also acts as an interesting reflective element for the structure, because the whole length of the structure is now parallel to the pool itself. When the sun hits the pool, it just creates these really nice reflections on the underside of the ceiling in the living room. We also have the dining pavilion right here towards the southeast corner of the plot, surrounded by a moat. I think what's interesting about this element is that it's very unorthodox in terms of how you would perceive a dining space to be. And typically, you always want a dining space either to be a part of the living space or enclosed in a room by itself, but closer to a kitchen or a living space. But here, it is completely disconnected from the home, so that it looks more pavilion-like. The rest of the site right here is all landscape, but what we've done is that we've also introduced a whole bunch of elements, one being the fireplace. And there's also a really beautiful sculpture by Nirvair. There is an installation right here which actually reflects the architecture. It's basically shards of metal. And towards the southeast corners, where we have the landscape Zen garden, where we actually put together a whole bunch of boulders and we created like an interesting seating element over here. So it kind of becomes a nice finishing point to the landscape. What's also interesting is that we've used a lot of hardscape elements around the plot. So this entire stretch right here, it all comprises of hardscape, and this essentially also becomes the deck where the clients entertain their friends. As far as the material palette is concerned, we had to ensure that it was very minimal. If you look at it, we've used kadappa in its glory, whether it's on the deck on the outside, whether it's within the home, whether it's in the bathroom walls. And it's used in the polished format in a honed, leather finished, flame finished. And also in terms of the sizes, like the kadappa on the decks are in large slabs of 2 feet by 4 feet, but those in the bathrooms are of various patterns. So we've used a herringbone finish, we've used square tiles, so on and so forth. To bring in that luxe quotient, we've added like a couple of brass inlays. So whether it's in the living room flooring or in the dining pavilion right here also, there is a very interesting brass inlay. For us, there was no other material but glass that could allow for this home to not only be experienced from inside out, but also the home presents itself as a very, very transparent canvas. We've also explored glass. I mean, I think this is glass house, and so we've used glass in several different formats. Of course, the main glass that is engulfing the home is a DGU. and it does take care of a lot of the heat gains. But apart from that, what we've done is that you'll see glass as lighting elements. So even the elements in the ceiling, whether it's the chandelier in the living room or the bedside lights, they are all like glass baubles. It almost feels like jewelry. You'll also see the glass mirror installation in the living room. In the lobby, there is mirror in the ceiling with those ruby cubes. So I think we've had the opportunity to really explore how glass can be used in several different formats. When you're designing a home, it's not just about the immediate, it's also about a shelf life, and maintenance becomes a big question, especially when a home is clad completely in glass. We used a nano coat to finish the glass after the DG was installed. I think what that does is it helps in prevention of staining of the glass because of rainwater. This is a holiday pad. It is a bachelor pad. It actually is very voguish. It is very couture. It is pretentious. And the good thing is that we were all collectively in agreement that it should be, and why not? It has a very different vibe during the day, but at night it just transforms into this very provocative den, and it becomes like a party pad. So the experience of the home changes from what it is in the morning to what it is in the evening to what it would be like at 2 a.m. This home is a cornucopia of straight lines, glorious galleries and modern materials. It almost feels like the home has a life of its own. It's a home that makes you reflect. It's a home that makes you think. It's a home that allows you to let loose. But most importantly, I think it's a home that makes you love.